Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first podcast, uh, a space where we talk about sex, talk about love, we talk about everything to do with intimacy. I believe wherever you are, if you're traveling, if you're with your partner, I want to take this chance to welcome you all to the first podcast. Of course, today we are going to talk about something different, something that I would say 90% or 80% of people don't believe in, and maybe the 20% will say yes to it. What we are going to talk about is, does love really change the relationship? How you see your relationship? Some people will say yes because indeed there is communication. Let's talk about what love really means in a relationship. What is the impact of love? I'll give you a scenario or I'll tell you a story about two couples. Uh, One is the husband, and the other one is uh, the wife. Apparently, the husband is the one who is working, and the wife uh, is the one who is taking care of the two kids because they have two kids. So it reached a point whereby, at some point, the husband feels like he's doing a lot. He's doing too much. On the other hand, the wife also feels like she does quite a lot of work by taking care of the kids and all that, because when the husband comes from work later in the evening, he feels tired. He's very tired, and all he does is just to sleep. On the other hand, the wife feels like the husband doesn't give her so much attention because the work has taken over the environment, their space of love. So at the end of the day, each of them feels completely alone. So tell me, as my listener, uh, what is missing in that relationship? Because I believe the husband, when he goes to work, definitely he has to call the wife to ask how the kids are, if they have gone to school, to ask how the wife is, how she's doing. Apparently, you find that in the middle of the day, between from the time the husband leaves home to the time the husband comes back, there is that, if not all, but there is a little communication between them. But at the end of the day, all of them feel lonely. All of them feel like there is something missing. Now you tell me, as my listener, wherever you are, if you are listening in your car or you are with your partner, you're seated listening to me, tell me, what is the one thing that these couples meet really, like, they lack? Because most people will tend to argue that there is no sufficient communication, or there is no enough communication, or perhaps some will argue that the husband is not doing to what he is supposed to do. Others will say that the wife is the one who is supposed to jumpstart the communication immediately the husband arrives home. And so there is just a lot of arguments in between the husband and the wife, like based on what they are supposed to do, who is supposed to do what, who is supposed to make the first move. You see, and it happens in most homes, in most houses. You find that even if most people tend to argue that at some point money could be a major problem. Like you find that some relationship may start just swiftly until uh, until at some point they tend to lack they tend to lack something, and that something is money. You see, when a household goes broke, that's when problem starts. But to other people or to other relationship, other partners or couples, money is never really the problem. The problem is how perhaps both of them carry out themselves, because you find that there are those characters that when not checked in well between both partners. I mean, when we stop assuming, like, now we are here, we've built our relationship, we are having a family, and now there is nothing else we want to look at, or there is nothing more that we can do. I mean, we shouldn't stop at that, because that will be the root cause of so many problems, including cheating and all that. Because one will feel there is no, the other person is not giving so much of himself or herself, like she's not there. She's only there when the other person is there. But immediately you switch off. You know, when you switch off your mind and your emotions and all that. So if you switch off all that, and then the other person will also figure out, like, okay, he's not interested in me or she's not interested in me. I mean, that will be the root cause of the problem. So you will keep fighting. Maybe you will be like, do I give you money? Do I provide for you and all that? But then most people don't figure out, like, money should be the whole problem solver of everything. At some point, that physical uh, being there, being there physically means a lot. Just talking, you just talk. When you come to work, when you brought the kids from school, when you are done with the house chores, you're tired and all that. I mean, communication is one important key. I mean, it rules out everything, but consistent. It shouldn't be just that one time communication whereby maybe you find that in most scenarios, when both partners, maybe they need or they feel like they want to have sex with one another, or they want to have that intimacy with one another, that's when they start talking. That's when they start conversing. Just for it, at the end of the conversation, they end up having the so-called intimacy that they have been imagining of or wanting so much. And then after that, that will be the end of it. They say, okay, let's sleep. I mean, there is no more communication in that. So I would like you to help me, apart from the communication that perhaps has come out to be the main problem between these two couples. I mean, is just loving someone makes it more like the relationship to be more stronger and stronger, apart from the so-called communication. Can you say that now that you love your partner, will that relationship, that I love you, yes, I love you, they will do it with a word of mouth. But then if you check their actions, if you try to see or look at what they do to reciprocate or to represent whatever they are saying, it's totally different. So does love really boost relationship, or does communication boost the relationship? That is what I will really want you to help me figure it out, and then you can inbox me. You can tell me in my inbox. You can tell me what you feel about love, what you feel about relationship. Maybe if you ever had a past experience of how how you should figure out love, what love really means, and all that. I mean, there who are like stranded, some are heartbroken. Most of the people don't actually believe in what love is because they just hear it from people. I mean, they don't really believe that love really exists. I don't know what you feel. I don't know what you think. Maybe you are one of the victims, or maybe you've seen it help you or help your partner, or you as couples, that love has really, really helped you. I mean, you can drop your comment so that at least it gives an exposure to maybe that person who doesn't believe that love really exists, or maybe to that person who ended up cursing out love because love has done him or her wonders. So at this point, I would like to perhaps say we meet next time. We have a lot to talk, but again, let's be honest. Sometimes we expect our partners to read our minds, but at the end of the day, they don't, because not all of us, or not all of them, they have that mind reading skills. Then we assume that they know what we are feeling. Indeed, we don't. They don't really know what we are feeling until we speak it out. Until we speak it out, because none of us, you can't read your partner's mind. You don't know what they think, you don't know what they feel. So not until you communicate, not until you express yourself, until that happens, I believe nothing will run into play. As for me, I'm in the support of communication, because from the stories I've heard, from the stories I'll say I've solved, the love stories, the marriages. I mean, you find that most fallouts come because of communication. Money can be in place, love can be there, but there is no communication. So as for you, I don't know what you think. Maybe we meet in the comment section, and then I see what you also feel about love and communication. Do they really help in bringing up the strong relationship? Otherwise,